Just when you thought the US-China trade saga couldn't get any more intense, China has fired back with a bold move, launching dual investigations into alleged US discrimination and dumping practices in the semiconductor industry. This comes just a day before high-stakes trade talks between the two economic powerhouses are set to begin in Madrid. But here's where it gets controversial. China's Ministry of Commerce isn't just questioning US policies, it's accusing them of being protectionist and deliberately aimed at stifling China's tech advancements. Could this be a strategic play to level the playing field? Or is it a retaliatory strike in an escalating tech war? Let's dive in. China's investigations are twofold. First, they're examining whether the US has unfairly discriminated against Chinese companies in its chip trade policies. Second, they're probing the alleged dumping of US analog chips used in everyday devices like hearing aids and Wi-Fi routers into the Chinese market. These moves come on the heels of the US adding 32 entities, including 23 Chinese firms, to a restricted trade list. Among them are two companies accused of acquiring US chip-making equipment for China's top chipmaker, SMIC. Is this a fair crackdown on security risks, or an overreach that stifles global innovation? The timing couldn't be more intriguing. Just as Vice Premier He Letheng prepares to lead a Chinese delegation in Madrid for talks with the US, China is openly questioning Washington's motives. In a statement, the Commerce Ministry bluntly asked, what is the US's intention in imposing sanctions on Chinese companies at this time? They didn't stop there, urging the US to immediately correct its erroneous practices and warning of retaliatory measures to protect Chinese companies' interests. And this is the part most people miss. These talks aren't just about chips. They're also addressing broader issues like US tariffs, export controls, and the fate of TikTok, which faces a potential ban unless it divests its US assets. TikTok saga adds another layer of complexity. With a September 17 deadline looming for the app to sell its US operations, China's People's Daily fired back, stating that China has never and will never require companies to collect data in violation of local laws. Is TikTok a national security threat or a pawn in a larger geopolitical game? The US argues that TikTok's user data could fall into the hands of the Chinese government, while China accuses the US of undermining its company's legitimate interests. These talks in Madrid mark the fourth major in-person meeting between the US and China this year, as both sides try to maintain a fragile trade truce. After agreeing to extend a tariff pause in July, tensions are rising again. The question now is, can these talks defuse the situation, or will they escalate into a full-blown tech and trade war? And here's a thought-provoking question for you. As global tech dependencies grow, is it even possible for nations to balance innovation, security, and fair trade without stepping on each other's toes? Share your thoughts in the comments. This debate is far from over.